Hello guys, this is Asen for my weekly results video, and basically this week I didn't play like I said last week, and so I will just make a video playing. Some people asked me to play on a site like GG. They asked me to play on GG, so I'm doing this video, and some other people also asked me to play some lower stakes. So today I'm playing both GG and 10NL. Giving some of my thoughts about how to play at these stakes, even though I will play kind of similar, to be honest. Like some obviously we can make some exploitative adjustments to people, but in general I will kind of play kind of theory oriented, and so that's it. Um, if you want to join my Discord and participate in a great community of good players who share their thoughts, their strategies, their advice, just join by following the link in the description or in the first comment, and you can basically join. So I'm not in my usual setup right now because I'm on kind of a vacation, so it's not my usual setup, but hopefully this will be okay to make a little video explaining some of my thought process. So in this situation, obviously I will be always for betting this end. For betting. And by the way, I'm not actually in Brazil. This is just the previous country I was in. And the flag on this software actually changes as you move countries, but it still didn't update. Not sure why I have some players here marked, since I don't think I ever played with these players, but okay. I played on GG very briefly at 200 and 500 NL on regular tables, but I stopped playing there this year. So here I'm going off pot on this board. We can also check this board actually, and that would be totally fine. Against this sizing, I'm not sure if we have enough to call, because we can't consider the immediate outs, right? We also have to consider in position the fold equity that we have if he checks the river and we can bluff. But yeah. Okay, this one I'm going for the overbet on this card. Actually, I'm going for pot since it's a bit shorter. And on this card, I will not bluff this end without a heart. And we also have other ends to bluff. And these types of ends with a heart would bluff. I would bluff Jack 10 off with a heart, but this one I won't. So on GG Poker, I think pre-flop plays kind of different because of the pre-flop rake. So, but I would mostly follow the kind of the GTO ranges provided by GTO Wizard or something like this. And I would follow a pretty simple game plan where I attack. I think this is pretty weird, but I guess I can call, no problem, I guess. I'm not sure. This multi-way, it's a bit worse because we don't have as much equity. This guy calls, I mean, we're just out of here, I'm guessing. That's a bit sad, obviously, but yeah. I think we can't call just because our equity is not great when this guy bets and this guy calls. So here we call a small 3-bet. We will call the flop, obviously. We will have to call the turn unless it's a ridiculous sizing. This one we can actually start bluffing sometimes. I will not go for it because I don't want to get check shoved on with this hand, so I will just check. And now I think we have to fold here. I mean, we still beat some hands actually, so we unblock all the bluffs, so I will actually call this one. Just because his sizing on the river is so weird, and after he checks back, it's pretty weak. The like some for some exploitative reasons also that line recreational players definitely overbluff that line. So I think especially that sizing of pot sizing, so I think that calling is not too bad. So I have a note triple barrel. So this is pretty weird. Probably this player played at some higher stakes, I guess. Here I'm going to call. Not sure how to play, to be honest, these kinds of splash pots here, but guess limping can never be bad with so much money in the pot. And here I'm going to check. I called here because this guy's probably recreational, so I just called to get in the pot with him. We could also 3-bet this, and this totally fine to 3-bet. And once this guy bets and this guy calls, we're just out again. Same kind of situation. Not sure who these players are, I can't remember, but yeah. So let's go to another hand. So I would try to attack basically the very over folded lines. I think that's a great way to make money at these stakes, but obviously if you're playing these stakes, you should not only focus on exploitative play, but also on actually learning the fundamentals of the game. And I was actually thinking about creating some kind of like not bankroll challenge. I don't like that theme too much, but kind of like make, for example, 50k ends at each stake and stream all of it. If you guys would like something like that, just let me know in the comments, and I can definitely do that and share my thoughts about beating from, let's say, 5NL to 100NL, playing Zoom or something like this. That's definitely something interesting to do, and if you guys would like, let me know. But like I said, I would mainly focus on learning fundamentals, pre-flop fundamentals, because that's what will serve your career. I believe that things like MDA are useful, but without the fundamentals, I think it's not sustainable, just because you are not creating a long-term plan, right? So if the meta changes or if something happens, and you will not know how to actually play correctly. So I would always first learn the fundamentals, learn how to play, and then focus on adding stuff onto it and basically creating your own exploits based on data. But yeah, to create those exploits, you first need to understand the fundamental strategy and the theory behind it, right? So So you're defending. We will have to call once if he bets this kind of sizing. Obviously, just have to call this one. On the turn versus a double barrel, um, we still have the best hand at some frequency, right? Um, I think that calling the double barrel would not be a massive mistake, but I would mostly fold, I guess. And here we just check, definitely. We have enough showdown value, and I don't think bluffing this situation is very good. With ace 10. I think this will be a pure check, and unlucky that we got out kicked. Opening the king queen suited. I will be 3-betting the ace queen, and if this guy jams, I'm mostly calling here. Here we could play a overbet strategy, I think, on the flop already, but I'm going with 3/4 strategy with this hand. I think this hand doesn't bet every single time. We can check sometimes, but mostly betting. Pocket jacks, we open. Against decising, the 6-5 will be a call. I would play a pretty simple flop strategy. Not worry too much about going too deep into flop strategies, since a lot of these flop strategies actually have a very similar V. So against the check raise, I guess we have. I mean, we could already fold, to be honest, but let's call one. I mean, it's never bad. I don't think it will ever be a massive mistake. So let's just try to play some pots here. Play a bit looser. Definitely checking the turn. I don't see any benefit in betting at this point. Now the question becomes, do we bluff this hand ever? I guess the answer is no. Even though on this river, to be honest, we lack a lot of bluffs. Anyways, I'm just going to fold here on the river. Even though I guess raising would be fine, maybe, with that hand. But yeah, I would definitely play a very simple strategy and try to adjust in kind of the big situations. Obviously, this all depends on the situation and the context of the end, but I would just try to adjust in the big pots and the kind of like the spots where people are putting a lot of money in big pots. So I would definitely adjust, and depending on the player, but against the average player, I would definitely play a little bit more careful at these stakes. But it's a bit complicated to explain this if people don't know the fundamental strategy before. So I think this Polish guy, should bet bigger on this board. And here I'm going to check, even though I think betting small is okay. I think he should bet bigger on the flop, on this flop. So this is kind of lack of fundamentals that I see a lot of people making. I think I will start bluffing this end with these suits. Anyways, I would bluff anyways, because and now I will definitely bluff this one. I will just call this one. And here I'm just overbetting. And here obviously I will call, I have the nuts. And here, oops, seems like I'm getting a bit out of battery. And yeah, cooler obviously for him. I would also adjust massively pre-flop because people are not 3-betting probably enough, and 4-betting also not enough. So it's one adjustment I would make at these stakes, definitely. That I would definitely play a bit tighter. Not tight. I mean, if people show aggression pre-flop, I would definitely play tighter against a lot of these players because on average people are definitely under 3-betting and under 4-betting, especially. So this one I will 3-bet. I will play a bit more. On this board I will play off pot or check, and with this particular hand with the ace of diamonds I will mostly bet. The overs, ace of diamonds. So I'll play for a bit longer, just a few more minutes, and then I will wrap it up. But basically that's what I'm trying to say, is that um, just play very solid, learn the fundamentals. I think this is very important, that you actually learn the fundamentals, try to figure out, and then you will be, if you actually learn the fundamentals and are able to apply them, you will definitely be able to move up quite quickly, because people at these stakes play pretty poorly, to be honest. So yeah, I think I will just sit out next BB. And that's it, guys. Once again, if you want to join the Discord and join a very good group of players, just click the link in the description, and that's it. So ear pocket nines actually is a hand that we can mix folds pre-flop. So against the average player here, I think we can actually fold. And here, I think even with the 9 of hearts, I think we just stab to pitch on this board. But I'm not totally sure. That's definitely something I will check out. That's an interesting situation, actually. And yeah, that's it, guys. GG. See you next week.